Got to take a break from the real world, fam. Time to talk some 49ers football. Hey, I tell you what, there is good news, though. Every time I get a little tidbit of Javon, I get all worked up, excited. You know what Hall of Fame executive Gil Brandt, I'm talking Hall of Fame executive Gil Brandt, who worked as an executive for the Dallas Cowboys from 1960 to 88. You know what he said? He said he sees a flawless player in the 49ers first-round pick. He does not have a weakness on a grade that you use to evaluate players with. Brandt said that during a conversation with Eric Branch of the SF Chronicle on Sirius XM NFL radio. I said, really? Gil Brandt? Really? You noticed? What? He goes on to say that's unusual. I mean, Jerry Rice had a weakness as a prospect. He wasn't a good blocker. We didn't need him to block. Just get out there and wear out defenses, right? Very few guys have no weaknesses at all, and in my estimation, he has no weaknesses at all. You see, fam, I got to tell you, man, if Mrs. Kinlaw's baby boy may have a few things to learn and improve upon in order to adapt to the NFL, but Brandt's high praise is a good start to go along with all the other evaluations he seems to be getting. I already tweeted. I said, you know what? Look at here, man. I'm hearing enough about Kinlaw that we may as well start worrying right now how we're going to play back-to-back blockbuster contracts when both and Kinlaw's contracts both expire. 5 years away. 4 years away. Well, probably 4 years away maximum. See, because right now we're going through the George Kittle thing, but who knew? A fifth-round pick would turn out to be the NFL's top tight end. It just doesn't happen. Which is, But I tell you what, if Kittle can get anywhere close to the expectations prospect without weaknesses get tabbed with, 49ers is going to be in a good spot to have one of the NFL's top defensive lines again. And honestly, fam, it is possible that Kinlaw could surpass what D-Buck was doing with the way they're talking about him. D-Buck was talked about when he first came to 49ers as being a good football player, but nobody talked about him like this. So, nobody talked about, in fact, nobody talked about, I ain't gonna get on Solomon T, but I'm just saying nobody talked about Solomon T when he first got drafted, and sure as hell nobody said anything like this about Eric Armstead. I mean, how many of us didn't even want Eric Armstead? But the players they do talk about, Bosa, he met every standard set by everybody who said anything about him and went beyond it. Saying the same thing about Kinlaw, fam. Look out. We may have something special brewing here in that defensive line. Oh, my God. Headline news, let's get right into the bad news. 49ers GM John Lynch recently told KGMZ-FM 95.7 The Game. George isn't going anywhere. We're going to work hard to try to get it done. I got called on this yesterday, and I realized that it could be. The question is, recently, did Lynch say that? Did he say it recently? The fear circulating is similar to what took place with Deforest Buckner when similar things were said until the respective players hit the front office with the bill. Fam, after the dude hit me up, and I ain't getting embarrassed on Twitter. I do it all the time, but I get embarrassed every time. He says, hey, Ronbo, John Lynch said that a while back, just to be clear. What? I went back to where I found that. He might be right. But then again, I said, you know what? He got Lynch said that probably a little bit after the Super Bowl, right? And here we are a few months later. And like I said, until all of a sudden we start talking about Julio money, So I don't know. Let's look at some more details. George Kittle's contract situation is worth watching because of the combination of two factors. George is right, actually, to aim for a salary well north of what the NFL's top tight ends earn. And the 49ers, if they so choose, could get away with not paying Kittle what he wants. And what he wants, according to GK's agent, Jack Betcha. What a name, huh? Did I pronounce it right? It can't be Betcha. It's got to be Betchta. I'm going to be Betchta, because if your name is Betcha, you need to get changed. Okay, Jack Betcha is that George is looking to gain compensation more like what the NFL's top wide receivers are making. Now, Betcha said via ESPN, quote, "I don't care about the tight end market. I'm being paid to do a George Kittle deal." The NFL's 25 highest paid players, Kittle is scheduled to earn $2.13 million puny dollars, including a performance bonus in 2020, the fourth and final year of a rookie contract that has averaged $674,572 per year since the year 49ers drafted him in the fifth round of 2017. Now, at the time of that contract signing, it made sense. He's a fifth-round pick. We don't know what he's capable of doing. We didn't go to Iowa to pick him up anyway. We were looking at C.J. Beathard. He just happened to be that kid that the ball was being thrown to, we got attracted to. So, George, we're going to give you $674,000. All right? All right. Sign right there. Let's get ready. Let's get busy. And from there, you know what happened. It's a joke now with Mrs. Kittle's baby boy, since he's achieved way beyond a fifth-round pick and way beyond that $674,000 puny dollars. That contract money, you compare that with top-of-the-line tight end peers that are making it. This is in terms of average annual salary via Sport Track I got here. Hunter Henry, $10.607 million. Hunter Henry can't stay on the field with George. Austin Hooper, Browns are paying him $10.5 million. Austin Hooper. We would have liked to have him, but he was going to be George's sidekick. You see where we're going with that? He was going to be George's sidekick. He wouldn't go take any snaps from George. He was going to be that other guy on the other side of the field. Travis Kelce, who I got a lot of respect for, $9.4 million. Travis is probably underpaid, but still. $9.4 million to George's $674,000. Rob Gronkowski, the standard. He came back out of retirement. They're going to give him $9 million. He's one. Rob is a bad man. If George has somebody his equal, that's the guy. Kyle Rudolph, Vikings, $9 million. No, he's not. He's not George's equal. Zach Ertz has not been George's equal for a while now. Jimmy Graham has just plain sucks the last 2 or 3 seasons. Since he left the Saints, he just hasn't been the same. Jared Cook of the Saints, Jared Cook might be underpaid. I don't know if he can block. I didn't pay that much attention. But Jared Cook can straight kill you as far as Jared Cook is scary. Darren Wall of the Raiders, anybody plays for the Raiders I have not anything much to say about. He gets $7.45 million. Tyler Higbee, the Rams, $7.25 million. Tyler's not a bad football player, but he's not George Kittle. None of those guys play equal impact or actually deliver the equal impact as George Kittle does to the 49ers offense. George orchestrates a whole lot of things going on the field. If you're watching George Kittle, George Kittle is a show within itself as you're watching the 49ers play. He's making the run game work. He's going out and he's just screwing up a defense because as soon as he goes out there, he requires extreme amounts of attention. And even if you do pay attention to him, he's going to get the ball. And now what? All hell breaks loose. See, that's there ain't that many George Kittles on the planet. There may never ever be that many more. George Kittle is just now getting started. He's not even in his prime. Well, 26. Well. He's approaching it. But I'd say around 28, that's 2 more years where you got him maybe peaking at his prime. Well, you know how much damage George Kittle could do in the next 2 years? And some other team gets him? Oh, hell no. You know what, though? The 49ers have leverage. In theory, they could let Kittle play out the upcoming season on his current salary of $674,000. And then franchise tag him in 2021. I make a joke about that. I know he's getting more than that, but the thing is that's his base. They started that. Hunter Henry's tag him out this year makes him the NFL's highest paid tight end at $10.6 million, which presumably is much less than salary Kittle is seeking, right? In that sense, if Kittle is looking for wide receiver-like money in the $15 million or more range, even a second consecutive tag in 2022 would save the 49ers money. As Phil eloquently pointed out the other night when I was sitting there crying crocodile tears thinking he might leave. He can't leave. The 49ers, all they got to do is FT the man. That's not funny, but I mean, the thing is, George, you shouldn't do that to George, but still, it is an option rather than let him walk away. And hey, it gets worse. And even a second consecutive tag of 22 would save the 49ers money. Fam, you know what, though? You don't want a disgruntled George Kittle running around anyway. Don't expect the 49ers to play hardball with George. They aren't really interested in going to war with him. He's done too much so far. He's meant too much. You don't treat your players like that. It sends a bad message through the locker room and other things. It causes a whole lot of problems. You don't want to do that. At the same time, you can't break the bank on him. I understand that. But I do doubt John Lynch wasn't serious when he said George isn't going anywhere. We're going to work hard to try to get it done. I think they've got motivation just to reset the tight end market, as do we for him. It's just finding that sweet spot where that is. Now, when that happens, I don't know, but we're working hard, as are they, to try to make that happen. George is going to be part of the 49ers for a long, long time. Unquote. Here's the thing, fam. What should the 49ers do? Now, it's not about what they should do. It's about what they better do. And that is sign George K to a long-term deal and stop screwing around with it. Don't pity-pat around like you did with Robbie and everybody else last summer. Get it done. Get it done. And players of his caliber, they just don't come around often enough to allow potential Hall of Fame talent to get out of your organization. Is the stuff that sinks franchises. For example, the Boston Red Sox. How long did it take the Red Sox to get back into any kind of a prominence after letting one of the greatest baseball players in Babe Ruth go to New York? So you got to be careful with that stuff. These things become more than just a bad deal. It brings on some kind of a weird karma. You know, you got to sign George Kittle. It's easy to say this, but how could the 49ers make this a reality? Continue trimming that fat, fam. Got to continue to trim that fat. The 49ers did a job unloading contracts of Keese and Matty B just this past April. The only issue with those moves is the 49ers, they may have not seen this coming, but they should have, because you got Deforest Buckner and you got George Kittle you got to sign. You got to keep trimming that meat, man. You got to get – don't trim no meat. Trim that fat. To keep Kittle, 49ers will have to part ways with some other players, and the sooner they do this, the quicker they can lock down the best tight end in the NFL. I love doing that because every time I do it on social media, best tight end in the NFL is in Kansas City. And then, of course, you probably see me on Twitter. I go berserk. I love to work it up with five rival fans. If you see me, you go ahead, hey, Ronbo, man, you can chill out. Go ahead. You say it, I'll listen to you because I got a Hawks fan. Boy, never mind. Let me... The 49ers have an incredibly deep roster, as we all know. If they can find a way to unload the contracts of some of the more expendable players, it will allow them to extra cap space to land a deal for Kittle, of course. Players like Weston Richburg. Ben Garland, I don't know that he can really hold down that spot. He did a pretty good job, but I wonder if Garland just needs more repetitions to become at least – Richburg's really good, and he orchestrates he pretty much lets Jimmy and everybody else know. He makes the adjustments after he looks through the defense to see how they're lined up, right? That's a very important role. Could Garland learn that role? I don't know. But we know Weston Richburg is going down before the year ends next season. That's what he does every year. TC, fam, I got to tell you, TC... There's arguments about TC, but I'm not. If TC left, my feelings wouldn't be real hurt. And DP, I ain't gonna say his name because I swore the other day I wasn't gonna say nothing. Would we miss? I don't think so. These guys can all be easily replaced while carrying them would equate to legitimate financial burdens to the team. Actually, you get rid of those three guys, you've already got enough money for Kittle and some change left over. It's an evil business, okay? It brings out the nastiness in all of us. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying. George Kittle means way too much to this team to watch these other guys hang around and they ain't doing nothing. Bottom line is this. The team's going to lose a lot of good players anyway in the coming years. We're going to probably fashion ourselves after the Patriots model. You just can't keep everybody, but you got to keep certain people. Don't let George Kittle be one of the people we have to go leave. Can I get an amen here? Or are we going to debate this? I'm just saying. You're like, it's, man. Rebel D, thanks, fam. He said, right. George Kittle will sign with the Niners, and mark my words, Trent Tatum will be the man this year. I also have a lot of faith in Jerick McKinnon. Go Niners. Rebel D, man, we're on the same page. I watch some footwork work. Everybody's, man, don't be taking the videos of Jerick McKinnon too seriously. Jerick McKinnon, that footwork drill was making me crazy. I watched that about 10, 11 times. Jerick is just, torso wasn't moving. You know how some runners, he used the whole body. Just, feet were looking like, they look like pistons. Not on a Ford, not on a Mustang, but a Maserati. Them feet, the music was just going with him. Jerick just, he stopped. Lightly to the next circle. That boy's got some fast feet. I know what Kyle is thinking. I can't wait to see him make that materialize. Eric Meisner himself, fam. Niners, stay safe, bro. Sorry I haven't been in the chat for a while before Super Bowl. Still watching, though. It's my B-Day. 21 time for Eric. Happy Niners birthday to Eric on these nasty times flying by. But they'll all get better. This just between you and I. Happy Niners 21 birthday. It's funny. Niners 21 birthday, right? Happy Niners! Birthday, Eric. Good to see you again, fam. I haven't seen you for a while, so I saw your name, Eric. Man, I haven't seen him in a long time. It's his birthday. Darryl Edwards says, give Kittle a high-end tight end money. The highest, but don't destroy the team. I agreed. You know, the 49ers have offered 14. Give him one more and get rid of Dante. You know, there's somebody. Black Tylenol. Sometimes I read a name, I gotta laugh. Here we go again. Kittle is the best tight end in the game, period, and among the best players in the NFL. Buckner, on the other hand, great, but is he a top 5 defensive lineman? I know, right? Buckner is not the best defensive tackle in the league. So when you make that comparison, you're absolutely right. Buckner's a great defensive tackle, make no mistake, but he is not the best. There's no argument. George Kittle is the best tight end in the game. Talking Man 78. I know! He wrote that. Go, hashtag go Niners, hashtag Niners faithful, hashtag Niners empire, hashtag Niners for life, hashtag revenge tour 2020. God bless. Yeah, man. Let me put on my ears. And let's go back and forth on this matter as we settle back here, relax in the house of the red and gold. Where's Reverend? Well, yeah, we've seen him a long time. Hey, James, come on in here, man.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
James, man. There's good news and bad news. Of course, Javon Kinlaw, every time I read something about him, it's good news. And then George's ongoing saga. I don't want this to resemble what we went through with the Robbie last year. Gold made me tired, and gold is not as serious a matter as George Kittle. So, are we going to pay this man? Are we going to clown him and franchise tag him and threaten him? But you can't do nothing, George, because we franchise tags right there. Or we going to give him upwards of $14 million, maybe $1 more million. Could you stand it?
Because truth be told, he's gonna really acquire a nice salary. I mean, I know top tight end money. I think Henry gets 10.5. I believe it is. One of them gets 10.6. I think that's the top paid tight end annual salary.
That's Hunter Henry, 10.67, 607. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. 10.6 something. Yeah. I look at it like this. All that he does, I think they'll probably offer.
James,
Well,
your signal's fading in and out. Where do you usually broadcast from? Maybe you should get to that spot.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, how about now? Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, now it's okay. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think the best thing we could do, because he's going to demand, like I said, we could offer 12.8. The most they could probably go, I think, would be a smart move. The most probably offer him no more than 13.5 a year. And with that being said, I think to make some cap space, I believe it's people right now. Like I think possibly Parag could be looking at the running back room, like that $5 million to Tevin Coleman. If Jerick McKinnon is healthy and can play, then, we still got a bunch of rookies that they got some rookies that they're going to want to put on the practice squad and could move on from Tevin Coleman. And, we still need to, we got to get this deal signed with this guy. Don't wait and drag it along. But I know it's somebody that they're going to have to let go of. And it's going to be probably more than one person.
Oh, yeah.
More than one player.
Yeah.
Because, sorry, this pollen up here and these trees, man, and stuff.
You'll survive. But, it's that summertime thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that is something they're going to have to take care of, because it's two things here truthfully at play too. It's simply, they're not coming back to a season where they're going to have a packed stadium of fans. I don't believe. I'm hoping it will happen.
Yeah.
And I think it will happen with a bunch of, I think it will happen. I truth be told, I think it's going to happen, but there are going to be so many, self-awareness issues and distancing, and got to have a face mask and gloves on. Can't, try to,
bring your own food because the concession ain't open.
But that's what I think. And one thing truthful about Kinlaw too, I think one problem, what you said about Buckner not being the greatest D tackle, and that's true, because I'm gonna tell you, one knock he had on him to be 6'8", he was only 285 pounds. Kinlaw is 2 inches shorter than him, but he's also 34 pounds
heavier. And he ain't a fat man either. Yeah. That dude.
No, I got it
hard.
I got it wrong. 39 pounds actually, Ronbo, because Buckner was 285.
No,
Buckner was 285.
Was he 285? I thought he was up there. Well, you know what? When he left, I think he was a little heavier than that, though. They didn't say anything about him last year.
And Kinlaw is 324 and 6'6", 324. So that's almost 40 pounds heavier than Buckner, man. And John Lynch said it on one of them interviews. They noticed in a couple of games last year at the end of the season, they noticed that he said he could see it up in the Seattle game where Buckner was just worn out, man. Because he
Too many snaps.
he
They've
was,
worn him out.
yeah, so many snaps, and then it's the light being that light too. Now, if he would have probably been about 305 at least, it would have made him more of a real presence. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a force to reckon with, but it's just the height, and then not having that much body weight. You could wind up getting thrown around by guys that could get up under you and like underpin you and throw you around all game. It'll start to wear on you later on in the game.
Yeah, and especially you got to keep your pad level down, and that wears a player out too. You got to stay low.
Oh yeah,
especially when you're that tall.
Man. Yes, it does, man. Yeah, man. But it's that's what I think is going to happen. I think they're not going to wait on it. They're probably going to look at why give look at the running back room. Okay, Jeff Wilson, Jerick McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon was brought there for a reason to be that workhorse. And let's not forget, we still got Raheem Mostert. Okay, and so that right there lets you know somebody's got to be moved. And truth be told, I know Kyle loves them both, but if one he had to part ways with would be Tevin Coleman.
Well, we're going to see about that. Well, James, good stuff. Good to hear from you, James. We didn't hear from you for a minute, James. Good to hear you're doing all right.
Yeah,
and I knew you were.
I called in Sunday night, and I was kind of trying to listen at you, and I had something going on with my wife, and it was kind of undivided attention. So, yeah. But
okay.
Anyway, just it is what it is. And once again, thank you for all that you do, the platform you provide. Niner Empire, Niner for life. Have a great evening, people. Let's be safe and careful at this time, and let peace reign, man. Let it rain, man. The country is in a turbulent time right now, and
we'll get through it.
So we still got to live. At the end of the day, we still got to live by the grace of God.
All right, James.
So be blessed, everyone.
I'll probably hang out. I'll be back tomorrow. All right. Night, James.
All right, Ronbo. Thank you. Be blessed. Good night.
Thanks, man. And let's stay out on the East Coast with Mel out in Jersey as well. Mel!
Ronbo, everybody, y'all can put your clocks and watches away because you know what time it is when you hear that bang, bang.
Bang, bang!
What's up with you, my brother?
Oh, Mel, man, I'm just trying to find something nice so the sun can shine a little bit until, we're dealing with like a pandemic and a riot. Well, not a riot, but an unrest, put it that way. The rioters, as a matter of fact, I just want to point this out. The riot ain't got nothing to do with the protests, okay? No, but anyway, Mel.
At all. Those are opportunists with that whole riot business.
Yeah.
Those are opportunists, that's it. But it is what it is. Such is life. In the timeless words of the great American poet Frank Sinatra, that's life.
I know. It sucks.
That is life. But, anyway. I think that we all need to kind of calm down a bit with this Kittle business. You have to see the differences between Kittle and Deforest Buckner. Deforest Buckner was much more expendable than George Kittle is. George Kittle is integral to not only our offense, but our team. We're going to get this deal done.
Agreed.
His agent is being a butthead, but he's an agent doing what agents do. He gets a commission, so he gets paid. The amount of money he gets paid is an amount commensurate to what he can get for his client. So I expect Kittle to step in at some point and say, look, man, let's go. Let's just go, bro. That's good. That's good money. What's really the difference between 14 and 16 a year?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kittle understands that if I am going to be demanding this huge, huge paycheck, I am going to hurt the team. I am hurting the team if I'm demanding $20 million. Now, it could be a DeForest Buckner situation where it's like that type of guy.
Yeah.
So, Yeah,
He just
man.
doesn't. This is
And
why when that agent says he's speaking on behalf of George, I find that mind staggeringly difficult to believe. He said that?
no, well, I think, yeah, I think George, let him off the leash a little bit to kind of feel
Yeah.
the market and see what's going on, see what's out there, especially considering everything that's happening with the pandemic and the uncertainty surrounding it. Because the player salaries are directly tied and linked to, the games and the
And
fans showing up
attendance,
and ticket sales and
yes.
all of that.
That
So,
worries me.
but yeah,
That
so
really does.
George earned a payday, but to try to break the bank, he's going to hurt the team. This is not
It's,
the
yeah.
1980s or the early 1990s where, if your organization, if your owner had the money, he can just dish it out and pay whoever, whatever. We are not in those times. There's the salary cap and everything. So,
Because and Mel, that
you know,
cap is projected to be dropped, not go up.
no doubt,
Ah,
no doubt. What has to be understood on both sides, this is a very similar situation to those mid-90s Cowboys teams with Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones. It's going to be one of those situations where both sides need this, man. No side needs the other more. It's equal.
yeah.
Where if we split, both parties lose. That's just what it is. Kittle's not going to do what Kittle does anywhere else. Nobody can draw up the plays and design them
Like Kyle.
like Kyle Shanahan. This is the
Ooh,
best.
ooh,
This is the best
Mel.
situation. And
But
George
what-
Kittle for our offense is integral.
I just want to back up on one thing on that, though. If the NFL is going to struggle because of lack of attendance, that means there is no other place to go. Everybody's in the same boat when it comes to that. So this is
Right.
like, yeah. I think
Yeah,
no
but there
need to
are
worry.
still going to be some teams that are willing to throw,
Their last
everything,
dime. I
including
know.
kitchen sink at them. Right.
Like the Rams.
And that was, and that's what made Defoe expendable. I love Defoe, man. He's a Niner for life in my eyes, and I'll never take anything away from him. But he was chasing a paycheck, and he was expendable. Defoe's value is not what it was a few years ago. Defoe's value was crazy years ago because he was like the only guy we had on defense.
Yeah.
Or one of the only guys we had.
True.
And he can thrive in that situation. But
Proper
at this point,
perspective.
we don't need to. Our defense doesn't revolve around him. And as a matter of fact, I've said this before, and people like mocked me and scoffed at me about it. But Kinlaw is going to do better than Deforest Buckner in this defense. You heard me say it.
Yeah, but Mel, you're right because it's considered blasphemous, like you're saying, to say anything like that because of what we went through with him. We raised him, we saw him grow up with the 49ers.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, Kinlaw pretty much has a few more tools coming into this than maybe D-Buck did.
No doubt. Yep. So with Kittle, it's different, man. We need him, and he needs us. And like I said, it's a situation, man. We're trying to win a Super Bowl, B. So I love George, but if his mentality is the same as Defoe's, where it's I got to get it and I got to get it now, where it's all about how many zeros and commas, I don't care about anything else. Everything else is secondary and tertiary. Then this is not the place. This is not the place. There's no place on a championship contender for that kind of mentality. There's no place for it because it can't happen the way the league is set up. It cannot happen where you got these guys trying to break the bank and you're still in contention. So it's like, okay, George, if you want us to pay you this $20 million, and we're going to lose all of these pieces, you not only have to carry your weight, you have to carry theirs. And let's get rid of this whole business about George is he's in a special mode because he's a receiver and he's a lineman. That's precisely what a tight end is. That's exactly what a tight end is a lineman that can also catch. Period. He's the best at it. He's at the top of the class at what he does. So yes, he deserves to set the market. That's a fact. He deserves that. But for tight ends to be making 10 and you're asking 20, man, bro, can't do that.
And according to Dre came in and said he got offered 14. He got through what's his name? The guy that works for SI. But if he got offered 14, what scared me about him, if he did turn that down, he's going the same route as Deforest Buckner, and that's just, oh, no. Buckner got
Right.
offered 18. Said, no, let's not go get it. I was, oh my God, that's what freaked me out. But we're gonna see. If the 49ers will offer him
Right.
15, and he says, okay, call it a day, because at the end of the
Right.
day, if they offered him 14, that's how much they think of him. Let him have it, you know. But like you're saying,
Yeah,
if it
he's
cripples
worth
the
that.
team, yeah. So we'll see.
When you're talking 20, though, come on, man.
That's too much.
You're crippling us. You're crippling
Man,
us, bro. That means
man,
you have to pick up. You have to play other
the,
positions too, then,
pull
George.
everybody else's load. Mel, we got to go though,
Yeah.
fam.
We got to switch to linebacker, safety, all of that.
Yeah, play some
All right, Ronbo.
quarterback. All
No
right.
doubt.
All
Word.
right, Mel.
All right, Ronbo. Same
See you,
thing, man. Have a good evening. I'm on my way to work right now.
All right, fam. I believe we'll be back tomorrow too. So if you get some time, have a
Sure.
good night.
All right. No doubt. I'm down.
There's Mel on his way to work. Oh, Eric says, Eric, somebody here doesn't like it. They just said, don't sing to him, Ronbo. Because you guys kill me arguing. In the third best B-Day gift ever, you have the voice of a Niner. Thanks, Eric. Oh, God. Yeah, let's, hey, Santana. Santana.
What's up, Ronbo?
Hey, man, we're sitting there like we're worried about what does he mean by George Kittle money? Because Drake came in and said that George has been offered $14 million, and they said no. That kind of freaked me out. I'm still waiting to see how accurate is that? Is it real 14? If they offer him 14, how about one more and they call it a day and stop this? 15 million is that's an awfully good deal for a tight end, So, but franchise tag him. You play hardball with him, Santana. You say, listen, George, you know what? We love you. You know we do, and we love to pay you what you believe you're worth and what we know you're worth. But this will cripple the team. Where do you go with this?
Well, I mean, man, George Kittle's a stud, man. He's a great.
Nobody
he's a great
liked him in the
receiver.
NFL.
He's a great.
Agreed.
And he's a great blocker. I mean, what do you do if you're Kyle and John? This is the first time they're both in a situation where they finally have a good player and their contract's over, and we don't know what their thought is. Whether it's like, do you let him go because he wants too much money, and we think we can develop someone else? Or
even just said that, my
pay
ears got
him.
burnt. Let him go.
No. There's I'm just saying, like, we don't know what John and Kyle are thinking, but there's no way you let George Kittle go, man. He is the heart of that offense. So letting him go is not an option. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's a negotiation. So obviously, George Kittle's agent is asking. He's doing his job. He wants to get the most for his player,
Yeah.
And then, on the other hand, the 49ers want something that can fit the salary cap that's going to, it's not going to affect the team in the long term. But I mean, it's just negotiations back and forth. But at the end of the day, I feel like they're going to come to an agreement, and George Kittle is going to be a 49er. There's no doubt in my mind, man. I mean, it's just a matter of time.
Santana, if you're sitting there arguing with the agent, do you finally get frustrated and say, listen, you know what? We can franchise tag him, and he'll get paid a lot less than what you're asking for. I think this is a fair offer. It's a good offer, and I don't know why you can't take it. Because I tell you what, we can't go far north of $15 million. If you're thinking that, then we're going to go ahead and franchise tag, and this conversation's over. Because I could see at some point Lynch or Parag or somebody, you get PO'd at some point, and while you're trying to be rational.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just don't feel like I just don't think tagging George Kittle is the right message you want to send to him. You want to make him feel like he wants it.
But if I'm talking to his
you don't want
agent,
to do that.
I talk to him like that, though.
Well, obviously, but I mean, it's just here a little. I just feel Ronbo like everything's at the end of the day, everything's just gonna work out. It's just that his agent's trying, like I said, trying to do his job, trying to get the best possible deal for George Kittle, and then make him happy. But at the end of the day, I'm sure George Kittle wants to be a 49er and he wants to play for the 49ers. And I'm no doubt in my mind he will sign a contract, whether it's 14. And if it's 15, even better, but I don't know how much it would hurt if it's a 14 or 15 a year type of deal. I don't know I don't know what the salary cap is, but
I know.
But I mean, I just hope it's something they sign where it doesn't really affect the 49ers,
From what I read, they've only got that much left on the cap. Now, they haven't paid Kinlaw, Ayuk, any of those draft picks. Nobody's been paid yet. So I'm trying to figure out, the money's ran out before you even get to. How does this work, guys? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. But I mean, I don't know if you put some incentives in there. Maybe you might.
Oh yeah, you got to do that.
Mills guaranteed.
Santana, you got to get rid of some people, Santana. You really do. Who can you afford to cut? You're not going to be able to keep. We know we're talking about 7 wide receivers. We ain't keeping 7 wide receivers.
Yeah.
And we're not keeping 5 running backs either. All that is up in smoke with this George Kittle situation.
Well, if that's the case, Ronbo, I mean, do you let Tevin Coleman go?
Yep.
Do you let, maybe what's it called?
Go ahead, say it, Dante.
What about Dante Pettis? Dante Pettis.
But his money doesn't really measure against the cap yet.
Yeah.
Next year will.
What about Solomon Thomas?
I really. I know. Okay, you know what? These are decisions you can make after camp, if they have camp anytime soon. If Solomon looks the same as he did all these other years, and Dante looks the same as he has the last few years, you know what? It's over. The party's ended in San Francisco for just having fun and playing with the 49ers. We got lots of money. Those days are gone. We can't even get marginal with players.
I mean, Ronbo, what happened to, I don't know if I heard wrong, but I kind of heard or something like that, or read on the, and they're just saying that the cap was going to move up to $200 million, the salary cap. I don't know.
That was before.
I don't know if you heard that.
That was before when they knew the stands were going to be filled with fans. And the 49ers are going to set a record in attendance this year for sure, right?
Yeah,
they
for sure.
Maybe no record set now. So, whatever they were thinking when they said that dramatically has been affected to change. It's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose millions upon millions of dollars this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I saw something like around about $3.5 billion. I don't know, something like that I read they're gonna lose.
Oh, when you think of the concessions, the parking lot, all the fees that go on, the luxury boxes, $3 billion that's a good estimate, easily. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, but I mean, look, Ronbo, at the end of the day, man, this is how negotiation works. They go back and forth and try to find a middle ground. And obviously, someone wants to get the upper hand at one point, but I just feel like they'll come to an agreement and George will be happy with whatever he gets, man. And, hopefully something where it doesn't really, like I said, doesn't affect the team. But, hey, we have to sign George Kittle. We cannot let him go, man, because he's a big piece.
No. George can't leave. As I say, as a last resort, as he's packing up his stuff and cleaning out, George, put that stuff right back in that locker, man. Here, sign this. Wait, listen, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
You can't leave yet. We're going to work this out, but you got a tag to sign if we don't. Oh, no!
No. I'll have a heart attack if George Kittle leaves, man.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to see him. I know, man. Don't even think about it, but no.
I'm trying not to. All right,
Ronbo.
All right, fam. I'll probably be back tomorrow.
All right.
Have a good night.
For sure, man.
Thanks, fam.
You too, man. But you good. Later.
It's Santana. And, hey, all right, here comes Dre. Dre, come on in, man.
Yo, Ronbo, what's going on, my guy?
Oh, man. I'm as you go down through the dailies, like I know you do as well. You go down through the dailies, I'm loving what I see with Kittle. I actually waited because I didn't want to read about George. And then I said, what is Kittle money? I saw that yesterday, I didn't read it. Okay. We're going to have a Robbie Gold situation this summer again like we did last summer. We don't want this. So, and that $14 million you're talking about, I firmly do believe that. And I want him to add one more and say, George, damn it, come on, man. That's more than any tight end's going to get from now until 2025. You may have set the standard, but every GM in the league is going to say, you ain't George Kittle now. I'm going to give you 11.5, and you need to be grateful. That's going to be it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I agree with my brother who just called in, and he said, man, people talking about, he's more than the tight end, and he blocks and he catches passes. Ain't that what a tight end's job is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
but do they do it to the same excellence? Are they as good, though?
Huh?
Are they as good at it? That's the thing.
Dwight Clark?
Dwight Clark. No. I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about modern day guys.
Dwight Clark and Brent Jones.
I'm
talking
sorry.
about Dwight Clark and Brent Jones. We're talking about the eras where you could still hand check all the way up the damn field.
I know.
I mean, man, if you talking about and come on now, Dwight Jones, he split out at slot also. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to diminish George Kittle. I'm not trying to diminish George Kittle at all. What people have to understand is this is about a team. Nobody is expendable. Haven't we learned that as Niner fans? Like nobody. I mean, Joe Montana traded. We just seen it with Deforest Buckner. We just seen it with Deforest Buckner, man.
Hey, Dre, I just want to ask you a question. I just want to make this comparison though. Is Deforest Buckner the best defensive tackle in the NFL?
No, but he's top 5, guaranteed. Maybe even top 3. Like there's only 2 guys that I can say that.
Point taken. Is George Kittle the top tight end in the NFL?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. But the top tight end in the NFL right now is making $10.5 million.
True.
And he got offered $3.5 million more than that per year.
Yeah.
So,
no, I got no argument with the price.
I just don't.
I'm just saying.
I just don't.
The argument takes on a whole different complexion if you compare the Buckner and Kittle. Is the only thing I'm saying on that.
Yeah, bro. If you look at DeForest Buckner, I guess he was the leader on the defense. He was a leader on the defensive line.
He's a great player. He's a great player. He did a lot of great things.
So there really is no difference, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think that sometimes we value the names more on the back of the jersey than the name that's on the helmet.
Now, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm looking at performance, and I'm seeing the impact George has on that offense. Now,
I want to keep George Kittle. I'm not saying that I don't want to keep him. But, if you ask
you're pointing out expendability, and I don't know.
Man,
go ahead.
I don't know, man. If you ask for $17 million a year, $16 million a year, I don't think
he's going to be that crazy.
Well, they offered him 14. You know what I'm saying? They offered him 14. You know what I'm saying? I have the proof. It was on my platform, and he turned it down. And the agent came out and said they're far away. Now, if you're talking about far away, $15 million ain't far away. That's close.
It could be
$16
media.
million ain't far away. That's close.
That could be media
spin.
I
would say about $17 million.
Yeah, that could be media spin. Maybe there was something else left out, but I can't imagine him expecting 17 to 18. And I don't think George would put up with that. I really have a problem with this.
I hope not, Ronbo. I really hope not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope not, bro. I don't know what else to say.
Dre, if you were sitting in negotiations, I think me too, I think we pushed the envelope as far as we could. And then when you see you went too far, you aim high and you hopefully you drop down to a level that was beyond what you thought you were going to get anyway. So I say 17 or 18 and they say 15, cool. All right. And I figure that's the game they're playing.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I don't know. One thing that we do need to start worrying about is worrying about the COVID-19 and all of that. There's an article that dropped on May 12th. You guys can look it up. The NFL extended the credit lines for each NFL franchise from $350 million to $500 million due to the COVID-19, with the fans not being able to attend and all of that good stuff. So don't worry about the money.
Cap?
That's not going to be a problem.
You talking about the cap?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's for everything. It's for operations. It's for everything. It's been extended from $350 million to $500 million per team. If you guys want to look it up, you can look it up yourself.
Oh wait,
Just
are you
look
talking
up,
about government
NFL
allocation? Huh?
No, I'm talking about the league. They extended the credit line to every team
credit
in the
line.
NFL from $350 million to $500 million due to the COVID. So even if fans aren't able to attend, it's not going to affect the salary
Cover
cap
some
and
of
none
the
of that
costs.
stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but we're going to be okay. Also, one thing that people have to realize, man, we're projected to have $60 million next year. And that's not, you got to look at a guy like Weston Richburg. We restructured his contract. I think there's like $14 million left in his contract. He's only making $900,000 this year. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, we're not going to keep him next year.
Yeah, because he's not going to survive next year anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like $13 million saved through his contract. Also, we didn't pick up the 5th-year option on Solomon Thomas, which would have accounted for $12 million. So, I mean, between those two guys, man, that's actually $25 million. So I think that, salary cap isn't something that we should worry about too much. All I was trying to say was, we have to stop thinking that one player is untouchable. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think for a second that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch weren't sending Kittle a message, by, okay, you turned down $14 million, watch this. I think we could have signed Austin Hooper if we wanted to. But we didn't. We just wanted to send Kittle a message. And then they traded Deforest Buckner. So they was like, Kittle, bro, like, you could get sent off to Siberia. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, you could get sent off to NFL Siberia if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, we took a chance on you. We drafted you in the 5th round. You only have 48 receptions in college, and now you're a stud in the NFL. And without Kyle Shanahan's offense, guys, let's just be honest. Like, Kittle's great. But without Kyle Shanahan's offense, do you think that he's done what he's done? Do you think that he breaks the all-time record for, receiving yards by tight end?
That's an excellent point. That is an excellent point.
I don't think so.
It's true because he fits in that system very well. Dre, we got to go, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back. And this time I'm serious. I will be back tomorrow. Something happens between now and tomorrow. And let's see what happens. Because every day you keep a George Kittle watch.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the TNT fan, man. Trey Trace, Big Show, Jerry Fresh, Bruce Show, Shay Lewis, my player partner, Will, man, all the guys, man. I just want to remind you guys, I want George Kittle to be a 49er for his whole career.
Oh, we know.
Let's get that straight. But I'm just saying, if he comes to him asking for too much money, I think that it might not happen. Also, man, subscribe to all Niners All Day on YouTube. Ray Berry All Day on YouTube. Man, check me out, Fran49er on Twitter. We just dropped another episode today.
All right.
We got another episode coming up with Kyle Matson, from USA Today and Candlestick Chronicles. You know what I'm saying? Another episode with Grant Cohn dropped a few days ago, man. So holler at us, man. We appreciate you, Ronbo. I'm out.
All right, fam. Good night. Have a good
Right.
and get on that stuff. Sounding good. All right. There's Dre. Check him out. And check out Dre. You can check it. He's Fran. He's not Dre, right? He's Fran. Dre's got to post that name up because it's a name. Dre changes his name a lot. Twitter. Hey, John V.
Ronbo, my man.
John. Come on in, man. So we're sitting here going over the George Kittle situation. And we just wish, remember last year, John? Last year, all we could do, we got to the point where we got hostile toward Robbie Gould. Remember that? Oh, if he doesn't want to be a 49er anymore, then let him get the hell out of here. People were getting outrageously pissed. And then when it really came that we needed, just like right now, I'm thinking about George Kittle. That's why I was trying to tell Dre, I had to underplay the thing about this is not an ordinary player. We get in a game with the Hawks. Here's our second string kid out there in a tense moment, which Robbie would have iced. He misses the field goal, and we lose the game. You see?
Yep.
Robbie, damn it, if you'd have been in training camp the whole season, chances are you would have been in better condition. Your leg muscle wouldn't have been pulled, and we would have been fine. Oh, no. Yep. That's why I don't want, because George Kittle, he could pull a sit down. I don't see him. It doesn't fit his personality. But, these are things I want to see not happen, I want him out there with everybody else.
Ronbo, I'll tell you what. If George Kittle, in fact, takes a seat, I will have lost a lot of respect. because of who we know him to be.
Right.
He would be letting us down at a very high caliber.
Right. Goes against every principle he's ever laid out. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Because we believe him to be the people's champ, and for him to take his seat would be a gut punch to me, to you, and to every other Niner fan. So absolutely. that would be awful. Now, there is a great deal of opportunity. Yes, they tag him, they keep him, but remember, there's two players. There's the satisfied player and there's the unsatisfied player. Which do you want? I don't want an unsatisfied George Kittle. I don't want a player that is not
feels mistreated.
Is not. Yeah, I feel like we know Parag can do some amazing things, and we should give him time. But I feel like they haven't had discussions since February. So I feel like that's a red flag for us. You know, I feel like there is a great deal of hesitation. And I feel like we'll see this hesitation, and we're going to weather this out over this course of this season. Because what if George Kittle this year isn't George Kittle? What if the league adapts and defends him? What if every team we play is going to plan for George Kittle?
They have to.
He's irrelevant in the Super Bowl. Right. So if Kansas City lays out a blueprint on how to beat the 49ers or how to cover George Kittle, and how to pressure Jimmy Garoppolo, well, then every team is going to use that blueprint. So what if they're just waiting to see, like, where is this man's decline? Are they waiting for his decline? Because that's shitty. Yeah. That's shitty. Yeah. That's a shitty thing to do to a player.
And you know, he's been playing with he's got a labrum issue that he's going to continue to play with. He doesn't want to get it fixed. You know.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure. So what does that mean for us?
It's kind of worrisome.
You know? It's like a D Ford injury all over again, just a little bit different. But the situation's still the same. You're injured, and you want to play. Quan, injured, wanted to play. I respect your martyr mentality, but I do not appreciate the lack of skill when it happens. Because you can be better and you're not. You've had this entire COVID. You've had the off season. Why didn't you repair the labrum? What's the deal? It's concerning to me, Ronbo. It bothers me because I mean,
I have the same reaction
you can tag
as
a player, but tagging a player means that you guys both have future plans. We'll tag you now, and we'll meet your needs at a later time, and then you have a satisfied player. But if you tag a player and you don't have a future plan, he's not happy. I don't want that version. Yeah. And I don't know what version of George Kittle we're going to see. That's upsetting me because I'm not hearing. I know that he's not supposed to talk about anything. Like I know he's not going to come out and you know, kumbaya my feelings. So you know, I get it. But,
and also the relationship between him and I believe it's a real close personal relationship that he's worked with all the people, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, for sure, all the players in the locker room. So he can't walk around the locker room whining, and he certainly probably will feel a little weird saying, you know, Coach, I really expected. I'm a little disappointed because I thought we'd work this out real quickly. And, of course, that's going to cause a rift immediately, John. So if you were in Kyle's or John's place and he said it to you, well, George, damn. You know, immediately now the rift starts. We offered you 14, and your guy said no way. Yeah, see, now you got a problem.
Right. I bet John Lynch wants to punch that guy in the face.
You know?
I bet you they want to beat his. I bet you they want to beat Betcha to the ground.
Oh, you know they do, because that's a good deal. That's a dang good deal. There's no reason to go. You're not going to get wide receiver money. That's not the way things are set up.
You're a tight end. You're a tight end that brings additional skills. You are a tight end that can block, and you can get yards after the catch. That's fantastic. Now you've become a hero, and more players are going to emulate you. They're going to be just like you someday.
Right. Kids in high school are going to want to be like George Kittle. Yeah.
Yes, kids are going to try to aspire. The tight end position has been reborn. Players are going to be like, you know what? screw it. I don't want to be a receiver. I want to be a tight end.
Yeah.
I'm built like a tight end, but I want to be a receiver. But I'll be a tight end because George Kittle's awesome. So now, and the 49ers are in no rush to offer you any more money. And you're not bigger than the team, Ronbo, and I applaud them for not bending the knee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but, come on. Let's be honest here, man. You're going to hurt us if you get more.
That's right. And you send the wrong message.
Why do you want to be that guy?
Yeah. I don't. That's why the betcha guy is the guy. I mean, you have an agent, and the agent tells you before he leaves, listen, no matter what you see or hear, let me do my job. All right, I'm going to do what's in your best interest. And then pretty soon you buy into that narrative if you're the player, and things get a little crazy. And George is probably, honestly, John, I'll bet you George is worried about his image because he likes being loved. I can tell. So
Well, then get your foot out of your mouth.
I know your agent.
Do something.
Yes.
Tell Betcha to kick rocks.
Back off.
Take the 14 and be done, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, 14 is still hurting us, but I'm good with it.
Yes.
But at the cost of what? D Ford? I don't want to lose D Ford any sooner than I have to.
I mean, yeah, because we got to get somebody else.
Why do we got to lose players to satisfy players? That hurts the chemistry.
Oh, good point. Excellent point. John, let's take this up tomorrow. I'm going to come on back. Let's do this tomorrow because it takes my mind off everything else.
Brother.
All right, fam. Good stuff, John.
You do bring us a break, my man. I appreciate everything you do.
Thanks, John. Looking forward to tomorrow.
This show's a breath of fresh air, Ronbo, and we all need it, my man.
Thanks, fam.
Thank you for everything you do, brother. Take care. Good night.
You too, John. God. Excellent points, man. I tell you, we got to take from Peter to pay Paul. No, George. Come on. 14 ain't a bad. You're way above everybody. There's not going to be another tight end in the league that's going to get paid $14 million for years. The Buck's going to stop here, literally. Hey, Shaleo.
Ronbo.
Well, as we were last summer, we're getting into areas of players that are getting on our nerves. But remember last year, didn't the 49ers offer Robbie Gould like $5 million or something a year? And we were saying like, wow, that's not enough. So, here we are this year. 14 mil, George. No tight end is even close to you. You see, and here we are going through this again. This is what happens when you start winning too many ball games, I guess. Every year, Shaleo. But Shaleo, let me stop and ask you, so how's it going today?
It's going good, Ronbo. The Red Rifle has showed up in Dallas.
Yes.
He's about to be the starter.
BBs.
How about them Cowgirls? How about them Lambs? How about them Seacocks? How about them Arizona Play Card Cardinals?
That's them.
And last but not least, shout out to Mahoney. How about them Oakland, Las Vegas, Trader Raider Chippendales?
You got me on that one. Chippendales?
Yeah. Mahoney gave me that name. Shout out to Mahoney.
Yeah, I want to see him running around out there playing football in helmets, pads, everything, and then a thong. Hey, put the cleats on, though. Oh, God. There's a picture. Oh, God.
They lost all their plans at the strip club.
Yeah. In the meantime, man, we got I just wonder how long this is going to go on. Wouldn't you love to hear that tomorrow, and the 49ers have come to an agreement with George Kittle, and it's all done. That Kittle will go for $14.5 million a year, and the contract is said to be laced with incentives. It could get George Kittle. George Kittle could make in excess of $18 million should he make the Pro Bowl, get X amount of touchdowns, and just go on and on with that. There's ways to make everybody happy with George within his family. I figure wifey has a few things to say. The agent, of course, wants his. So, there's no need for this to be a drama. God.
We need Kittle.
Badly.
Without Kittle, this team doesn't run efficiently like we do.
We saw it for 3 games. How many games did we go without Kittle last year? 3? 4?
3.
3, yeah.
One was the Seahawks game.
Yep. And we lose by what? A field goal. You know, if George would have played, we weren't going to lose that game.
Oh, yeah. So he's like a Julio in this offense. He's like a number 1 pretty much. Target.
Hey, did he play against the Ravens? Was George back? I can't remember. Was George back or not? Anyway, but yeah, you're right. His value is way up there. As far as I'm concerned, George is the number 1 weapon on offense, not throwing the ball.
Yeah, he is a number 1. And like all the callers said, he is everything. Block, catch, you name it. He can do it. Besides quarterback.
Yeah.
Can't do quarterback.
And he does all those things extremely well. That's the thing. You know, there's a lot of tight ends out there doing that job, but they don't do it like George does. That's the thing.
Yeah. And I think we need to get rid of Solomon Thomas. You know, I think he's holding up half of that cash. And Pettis is just playing with his hair at Color Me Mine. He is playing with his hair at Color Me Mine.
Well, I guarantee he's on thin ice, Shalil.
He's been training. He's been training. He got the Johnny Bravo haircut.
Yeah, but
okay, he is chasing kittens.
He better.
His other buddies are catching footballs, and this guy over here at the park, he's like, he's making a route, and then he's a cat. Oh, kitty! And he goes and pets it, starts playing with it.
He better be. He better be tough because ain't nobody playing around in practice this year. If you look like the weak link, it'll be determined quickly.
I think he's going to be the weak link. I don't have any faith in him. I think he's done.
So, pick out your. I've already got my 6 receivers picked out. Who you got? Who's going to make this team?
My 6 would be Jalen Hurd, Deebo Samuels, KB, Trent Taylor, Juwan Jennings.
There it is.
And
you know what? I think we all have the same 6 guys. You got all the yak guys.
And my
there.
6 would be Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Well, Ayuk and Debo have automatically they're coming on next year. They just drafted Ayuk. You don't cut him. And Debo did too much last year, so you know he's there. Kendrick has earned a spot on that team now because he's just so adjusted to him and Jimmy and Kyle. So there was 3 spots left, and it's got Hurd, Jennings. Hurd, Jennings. Who's the other? Oh, Taylor. Yeah.
Taylor.
That's it.
And they bought. They got a. He's got to go war in the training camp with Finke. So it's going to be down to one of those 2.
Fink will be on the practice squad. You can keep 2 guys. Actually, you can activate them, like alternate them week to week, too, without putting them on for waivers, from what I understand. So Fink stays on the team for sure, offensively. And maybe one more. You know what? I don't know. Did we say Jennings? Did you mention Jennings in your 6? Jennings.
Yeah, I mentioned Jennings.
Yeah, Jennings might be. If he doesn't make the team, he's definitely on the practice squad. He's not leaving. So you can still alternate him on game days as well, and then put him back on the practice squad according to the new agreement. So Fink and Jennings, those are your 2 hold cards. Those are guys you can't lose.
Can't lose. And Jennings got a little bit of dog in him.
Lots of dog.
I'm not. I don't want anybody to get injured, but if Hurd goes down again, then we got our guy in Jennings that can fill in that position.
And Hurd has a mixture. We got to see if he's going to be able to survive.
Hurd got to be healthy.
Yeah, he's got to be able to survive because Kyle's already got plans for him anyway. I mean, that's part of Kyle's playbook from the way they're talking. So
I hope so, Ronbo. I hope so.
Oh, I know.
But
it's bad back. Whoa, how do you play football with a back condition? We'll see.
We'll see.
They got some great doctors.
But shout out to the Thunder Empire. Thank you for the platform, Ronbo.
Hey, my pleasure.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Hit the likes and wash your hands with soap and water.
There
Later.
you go. And stay careful out there, Shalil. See you tomorrow. Hey, Tony.
Hang on a sec, Rob. Let me plug you in there.
All right.
Hang on, mate.
Hey. Oh, man.
All right, you got me that time. Sorry, brother.
No problem. No problem. Because
I wasn't ready.
No problem. Because Tony, I mean, I'm sitting here going over the situation here with what is George Kendrick deal? What is that? What's the difference between that and a tight end deal? And of course, we found out it's not going to be $10 million. It's not going to be 11 either. And for God's sakes, it's not 12. It has been rumored that he got offered 14, and then you get a report saying the 49ers are nowhere near making a deal with George Kittle. So immediately you freak out because you don't know which information came out first. Was it that the 49ers are nowhere near making a deal, or was it the $14 million has already been offered? This is what I can't pretty much distinguish in my mind, because one could have came before the other, depends on which one. Because if $14 million means we're nowhere near a deal, that's scary. If they're vice versa, then of course, well, okay. The 49ers did say, okay, fine. You don't want 12? How about 14? Now maybe the silence starts because the agent knows he's going too far if he goes past 15, right? So that's why, well, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe the guy's a complete heathen. I don't know. But, you know. What are you thinking, Tony?
Mate, I think some of these players need to think in terms of long-term future. I mean, I'll give you an example. How long was Staley at the club for?
13 years.
So is 13 years better to be at one club and just keep on getting money after money each year, or you're going to pump your chest out and say, I'm worth this much, and then you have a shit of a season, you go to another team, and then you have another shit of a season, and then 3 years later, your career's over.
Right? You become that nasty word. You become a journeyman.
Yeah,
that sucks.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think these players should think before they pump their chest out, because no one's. I mean, George Kittle, he's one of the best tight ends in the NFL at the moment.
True.
We don't know if some kid's going to come out of college and, like some of the other callers have said, you got to take into account Shanahan's scheme as well.
That's true.
So, plus you look at these agents that he's an agent. He's like a car salesman. They've got to be greedy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They have to be greedy. So why don't you just do what Richard Sherman done?
Become
Sit
your own
down
agent.
And become your own agent, then. Don't pay him the 50, 60 grand that he's going to get. Tip it for yourself.
You know what, though? Sherman's very good at calculating and putting all that stuff together in the kind of the legalese that it requires. I don't know if George could actually, I don't know what it takes to come in with your own contract. That's pretty amazing. Sherman didn't get cheated, and he made it all work. So, George just needs to tell his agent, listen, I don't want you to go in there and keep me in the daily articles every day saying the wrong things, all right? Now, I want you to keep me posted on what you're doing so I can tell you how I feel about it at the time. I'm hoping that's what happened, because if the agent comes and says, George, just let me do my job, don't interfere, and I'll get you your best deal. If that happens, Tony, there's going to be a problem. I can see right now. Because, just like you said, you know how agents are. They're a-holes.
Yeah. That's right. George, if that's the case, George should step in and say, listen, mate, I'm not just looking out for you. I'm looking out for my long-term future, which is, when I say long-term future, what happens after football. These guys that have been in the game for 10, 15 years get offered contracts to become commentators for the game or to become involved in some area of the sport so they can keep earning money.
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of factors that go into it. But on the football side of things, George has got a lot of yak, and to have a lot of yak, I think, is one of the most important things in the offensive positions in NFL. I mean, you look at the players that they're going after, that they've signed up. I mean, Lynch said about Jennings to Kyle, I watched it in an interview. He said, look, if you're not going to use him as a receiver, right, I want him as a safety because I like his attitude.
Jennings, yeah. Yeah, he's just a tough guy.
And you look at, what's his name, for Henry, Derrick Henry. Big dude's got a lot of yak, you know what I mean? The game will change, in the future. What's that guy's name? Usain Bolt. Imagine having Usain Bolt as a receiver, runs 100 meters in 9 points.
Tony, I got to tell you, though, guys that long, when they get hit, it's really scary. They fold up like a chair. Yeah, well, Hussein, if he looked like Derrick Henry, though, and put on some bulk with all that size, he'd be making people move out of the way. You'd have to make business decisions, something like what Derrick Henry did to one of the best safeties of all time. He used him as a lead blocker. That was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life. Turn him around and then shove him in the back. Take your own man out. Get him out of here.
Yeah, but I think I think George needs to think about the future, and he has to make this decision with his involvement as well, not just the bloody agent, because long-term future is probably more important than right now. I mean,
absolutely.
We all know what's going on in the world right now. We're not idiots. You've got this COVID-19 bullshit thing, and
And here it is, June, which really bothers me, Tony, because it was supposed to. Tony, you guys are going into colder months. Has the virus?
Yeah, we're just second day of winter.
Yeah, is the virus picking up any? You guys pretty much got it under control, though, don't you?
No, it's not. It's not picking up at all.
See, that's what I keep thinking. The summer would take it out because of the UV thing and everything, and then as a seasonal would return to the colder months and might come back. But you guys go, okay, we'll keep an eye on that.
But we've got our rugby leagues on TV, but there's no spectators.
Oh, what's that like?
No, it's horrible.
Yeah,
absolutely horrible. Normally when you see a hit, when somebody hits someone, because of the noise of the crowd, you can faintly hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, because there's no people in the stadium, it just echoes through the whole thing.
Oh, God.
And it's crap. And what they've done is they've said to people, pay $10 or $20, send us your photo, and we'll put $20 or whatever, and we'll put a cardboard cutout of you in a chair. And what they do. Yeah. So what they do with the money is they donate it to charity.
They're not taking gate fee. They're not contributing to their own pocket. They're just contributing to charity.
Yeah.
I got a feeling. The NFL's liable to do something really strange because I thought that the draft was going to be a boring night. I was entertained. So that sounds terrible though, Tony.
I don't know what the agenda is behind all that thing. I wish they'd just come out and tell us, you know what I mean? 2007, more people died of the flu than of this thing.
I know. We're going to see what happens, though. Tony, we're going to have to stop. Tony, I'm going to see you tomorrow if you get a chance, all right? Be looking for you.
All right, brother. No worries.
Night, Tony.
Thank you very much. Shout out to everyone. Be safe.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, mate.
Well, you heard it from Tony. It's not fun watching with no fans. I knew it wasn't, but I just, Hey, Justin! This Justin.
First of all, I want to offer my prayers with Tony and his country. I do hope things get better over there, man. And we're all hoping for the best. So
well, actually, the thing
that.
is, it's been under control in Australia for a while. They've got places where there's a zero, but there's no cure for this evil thing. That's the problem. If it were a cure, then life would continue as usual. You catch it, go ahead, get this done, you're done. But man, this is just now we got to take all kind of precautions, and this just sucks. Anyway, let's talk about George Kittle.
It's even more crazy with the world going on right now. I how I am a grocery store worker. Well, now we're closed at 5 instead of later. So
you're not because of COVID, because of the riots that are possibly after dark. All the a-holes come rolling out as soon as it gets dark. All right, here we go. Do you guys know anything about George Floyd? Who's that? Oh, you God, just this is the thing. Okay, don't let me get started on that.
Oh, okay. I would just say like this. This. I do see Dre's point, and I do. Dre. Me and you don't really. We butt heads on a lot of topics, and I do see Dre's point, and I would like to say though, I do not see George asking for over 17. I see George asking for probably 15 or 6. Probably 15 or 16, but not overdose.
You think so? Because I think George.
He's a team guy. He's a team guy.
When he heard 14, I think he was happy. If he heard 14.
Yeah. So I think he's looking for a team-friendly deal, but he's also looking to somewhere he keeps him happy because he came out of 5th round at college. Barely anybody looked at him. He proved a lot of people wrong. He's an offensive lineman. He's a tight end. He's a receiver. And he's also one of the main blockers on the offense right now. So he wants to get paid, and I don't blame him for that. I have no blame, and I do not blame him for that. So I do see him asking for around 16. Now, what trading these for? I don't see that happening. Not that thinking back at it.
We got to wait on D Ford. We're starting to pick on him, huh? Well, he got his knee fixed, Unlike John Lynch didn't know about.
You got
let's wait.
Jones. You got Nick Mullins that are coming up as free agents. You got Rona Blair again, 1-year contract. You got all these players on 1-year contract, and you got Solomon Thomas, and you possibly if Devon Jennings makes this team a fourth round Dante Pettis moves into the 7th rounder. Devon Jennings on the starting role. On starting offensive, kind of embarrassing a little bit, if you ask me. So, I don't know. I don't see where Dante Pettis. I think I don't know how much money you save if you trade him. I don't know, but so that's one more thing to look at. Looking at all these players, I don't see a deal coming in this season. I see a deal. I don't see him holding out as well. I think he's more of a team guy than Robbie Gould was last year, and so I think he's going to sit on his money this year and just play it out and prove that he's worth that $60 million. And he'll get it. He'll get it because he's a team guy. He's a team player before he's a me guy. That's why everybody loves him up.
Yeah, that's why this is uncharacteristic when his agent says he's got to have George Kittle deal. Well, George probably says, I didn't say $15, $20 million. George, let me do this. I know, but you know what? I just take it easy. I can see them having a conversation like that. Because 14, I think George would have bit. George would have been grateful for that because that's way above everybody else, and that's way above what he was getting.
The signing bonus. I think he wants a little more. I think that's that's the main thing.
That's the thing. And also guaranteed money. What's the guaranteed money? You're right. I'd forgotten about that, Justin. It's the guaranteed money.
Mm-hmm. It's the guaranteed money. Well, players. Everybody gave Richard Sherman shit, but you know what? That guy worked his contract. He bet on himself, and he made his money. He earned his keep. He bet on himself. So, these players are not representing themselves. They're allowing themselves to be bet on because they know they are able to excel at that
I accept that challenge. Rich Sherman did it. Maybe George Kittle is next, where he's like, I bet on myself where I could get this guaranteed money. And George might do it. So.
It's always those small. You read contracts, and you go through these one line after another. There's always that one or two passages that cause a problem. It happens with rookie contracts every year, right? So I can't imagine what goes on when you're getting ready to renew your contract. And the agent's going to sit there and say, okay, now what's this part here? And Parag Marathi says, well, here's the thing. The team's got to protect itself now. If something goes wrong, if George if he underperforms this year, if there's this, and this, then we forfeit the contract from that point, and you're allowed with this amount. Well, I'm not going for that. Okay, well, we're going to have a problem. And then that's when the arguments and the days start dragging by. Because Parag is going to protect the team. That's all there is to it. So there's going to be lines in the contract that this guy's probably going to pick apart and swear that it's not going to work. And that's tough.
Yeah, man. I think, it's one of those things where you have to make sure that the player is happy and he's happy as well, because, but I certainly do not think it's not going to be like a $20 million deal, because respectfully, George.
Well, it was never going to be a $20 million. I mean, you wouldn't pay, you paid 18, you offered 18 to Deforest. And granted, I suspect that George should be, in so many ways, worth more. But still, you don't go way over the blue book.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, before that, the red book.
Remember when everybody was freaking about Nick Bosa and how much he got paid? Everybody was freaking about Nick Bosa, like, oh, you guys paid him way too much money. We paid him way too much money, blah, 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 blah,
Nick,
blah.
Is rookie contract?
Yeah, I remember that show where it was like, oh, he got paid too much money. We paid too much money, blah, blah,
but
blah.
that was people that didn't want Nick in the first place, because I didn't care how much he got paid.
Yeah.
You gotta go, Justin.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna
all I know is everybody stay safe, stay blessed, and most importantly, take care of each other, and care about your neighbors, man. Care about your neighbors, because
care about everything.
Tomorrow's not promised.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Make sure you guys take care of each other and hold each other accountable.
All right. Good stuff, Justin. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. All right, have a good night. You take care of yourself too. Be careful now.
Yes, sir. All right. Have a good day, everybody.
You too. Yeah. IB. I'm glad IB. I searched you out.
Ronbo.
And I couldn't find IB. Okay, go to Twitter. You got a Twitter? Either one you got. IG. Yeah. Hit me up with a DM and say, hey, Ronbo, here I am right here, man. So I can.
Yeah. I inbox you on Twitter. It's at the Indian boy.
Okay. Yeah. When did you do that?
Yeah. It was probably
I'll go look.
About a week ago. So
I've been looking. And okay, at the Indian boy. I'll find. Okay. Anyway, now
I ain't got a lot of followers. I'm definitely on there though, for sure.
But I couldn't find the boy.
I definitely hit you. I definitely hit you with the inbox to show you I was on there though.
All right.
Well, what's going on tonight, man?
Yeah, we're sitting up crying about George Kittle's contract, and somebody pointed out earlier, so, it's out of character for George to be talking about, I need all the money this team's got. That's just not making any sense, right? So I figured George probably took the 14, but there was probably something wrong with the guaranteed money. We're looking at the dollar amount when really it's probably some of the other stipulations that are not being made satisfying for that agent. George, we get $14 million for 5 years. You do the math on that. Right. I'm saying giving us $65 million guaranteed. Something crazy, right? So, I don't know. It's just really.
Well, Ronbo, me personally, man, I'm gonna put a twist on it. I'm gonna put a twist on it tonight, man. I'm gonna say something I don't think anybody else has said tonight.
I mean, you always do.
Because he got me thinking, man. After Dre jumped on the other night, I said, man, are you serious? Then I went and I watched I watched the interview with him and Cone and Homie on there, and it was a good interview. So I see where he's coming from. But this is where I'm coming from tonight, right, Ronbo? I'm gonna say this, right? I figured somewhere when George Kittle got hurt mid-season and all that, and we were looking at him like, oh my God, we can't afford to lose this guy. We are gonna have to make him the highest paid tight end, right? But then when we were sitting there watching him on the sideline, up in the box seat, we saw him next to somebody, and nobody else has said this kid's name tonight, but we've been blowing this kid's name up all off season, and this is the reason why I don't think we're gonna go ahead and overpay George Kittle. If this kid, and what everything we hear is true, if this kid Jalen Hurd comes back healthy, then he's going to take a lot of those receptions that George Kittle was doing because he plays that role better. He's quicker. He can get away from those fenders, and he don't have to get hit. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So if he can come back healthy, that takes away of, okay, we gotta give George all this money because now we got another receiver, another big body receiver, and we take away the double team from George because we got somebody over there who's a deep threat. You know what I'm saying?
And
not only that, well, this is what else I was gonna say. Why else was we talking about making George Kittle the highest paid? Because he blocks, right? But look who we got this offseason. Trent Williams, who's a lot faster off the edge, who's going to do a lot more of what we thought George was doing. George don't have to do all of that off the edge now. You know what I'm saying? So it makes our offensive line.
And Big Mike does that anyway. I mean, he'll escort a running back all the way down the field.
And now Brunskin's coming in. Yeah. Brunskill's coming in. And we got Compton over there. And we got Sean, who is it? Sean, the kid coming back, Coleman. You know what I'm saying? So
right, yeah.
all of that, we're not so worried about George blocking out. George is receiving. And we don't. We got other receivers.
You know what? I've forgotten about.
Right.
George was taking up the slack of offensive linemen missing.
He was doing a lot for us because exactly guys was hurt. You know what I'm saying? We had a makeshift squad for 2-3 years in a row. You know what I'm saying? So and when George Kittle had those yards, no other receiver besides Kendrick Bourne was realistically stepping up. So and this was 2018 that we're talking about. Last year it was Debo. You know what I'm saying? So I love Kittle. I don't want to even exercise the concept of trading him or even $16 million. I don't even want to think that because right now 10.6, 10.5 is where the line is drawn for the highest pay. Why are we talking about $6 million more? Who on our team?
Well, you know what?
Who on our team do we pay like that though?
Parag ain't talking about 6 more. He's talking about 3.5 more. But yeah, no. And they know better. There's no place in the league that somebody's gonna give him $20 million.
Even Eric Armstead's contract was a little surprising to us. But is he look at his contract based on the other players in the NFL? We're not trying to do that to the team, man. I love George, but George ain't even gonna do that. That's why I think there was a comment from the GM today saying, man, I relax, and
he's not going anywhere.
And they know all respect to the team, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. We having fun this off season, man. It's a lot of news. It's a lot of stuff going on, but
we get drama every year now. This is back-to-back years. Robbie Gould had everybody hating him last year, and then after he come back, but we love some Robbie. Robbie, do you think I think the agent is acting almost. I think he's mavericked off. I think George is probably sitting back with his wife saying, George, leave it alone. Yeah. I know, but Jesus Christ. I used to be the people's guy. Now what am I?
Somebody said it. I think it was Mel said it. The agent's he's gotta go out there and get his incentives as well. So it's a job. Do. But at a point, there comes a certain point in time where you put your foot in your mouth and enough is enough, bro. And you start overstepping boundaries, because you start making the team uncomfortable. And, I mean, George is a good guy, but we don't have any other tight ends on our team besides Dwelly. We're the type of team, we like a team full of players. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Dwelly some money. We got a couple young guys. Let's see what Charlie's going to do this year. If you don't think Charlie's making this squad or this practice squad, somebody's mistaken. You know what I'm saying? We didn't pick up none of those guys in this draft this year to F around. Excuse my mouth. I guarantee.
Because the thing is, we only have a few. We ain't got no draft picks. Everyone's a high quality pick, but we ain't got a whole lot of picks. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So.
I'm telling you.
Right.
I'm telling you. And it'll be interesting, man. I can't wait to see it. Solly, I'm gonna speak up on Solly tonight. I think he's for one. I know we didn't pick up the contract, so I think we'll renew a new contract next year.
Yeah,
and it'll be affordable. I believe.
One thing the 49ers do, if you do, they tell you they're not going to pick up your contract, but if you do a good job, they will pick you up. They've done it every time so far.
Right.
So, I mean,
we have to because. Okay.
Yeah,
well, we know we got to bring him back because we don't know what Blair gonna do. So you know what I'm saying.
Ooh,
but all right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right, fam. Looking for you.
All right. Appreciate you.
You too, fam. Yeah, IB's always uncovering things that you got to think about, and he's right. We don't know how healthy Blair is. Jesus, just a minute. This is football, though. This is the way it works. It's about guys going to war and how many Warriors you're going to have healthy at the end of the season. Trez! One half of the founding members of TNT. Trez!
Hold up, wait a minute, Ronbo. Go on and find some of that red and gold and pull it up in there.
Up in there and just see that glittering coming down through the sky. I'm just got it everywhere. Trez, so good to hear from you, man. Because during these bad times, Trez, you just bring a good, big, smiling mood in. You know what I'm saying? Even though you and me, I love to argue with you, Trez. But you're the guy I got like my brother. I got like a sister that I love to argue. Every time I see her, the first thing we do is bust out arguing, but we love each other to death. Trez!
It's always love, Ronbo. It's always love from the TNT family. It's always. Shout out to my TNT brothers. First and foremost, shout out to you, Ronbo, you and your staff, for everything y'all do and provide for us, the fans. Okay. Well, let's get down to business.
I know we're going to start, too. You're going to say, y'all need to get up off of TC. He ain't getting cut off this team. Go ahead. I know, Trez. Go ahead, Trez.
Y'all need to get up off TC. He ain't getting cut off this team. TC is Kyle's man. You hear me? Do you know how long Kyle had to wait for TC? I told you he was going to get TC. I was the one who said it. He's going to get Tevin Coleman. Remember when I kept saying that? He's going to get him. And he went and got him. So I don't know why people keep professing that Kyle is going to go and get rid of one of his players. If it wasn't for Kyle Shanahan, there will be no TC on the Atlanta Falcons. He was the one told the Falcons to draft him. That's his draft pick with the Falcons. So why would he finally got a chance to get him in San Francisco where he's the head football coach and people want to toss him out like he's yesterday's trash? It ain't happening, Ronbo.
Hey, Trez. So give me your running backs. How many are you keeping and who are they?
Oh, now that's a hard one right there, Ronbo. That's a hard one right there.
That's why I cut TC.
No, TC ain't in that cut though. I'm gonna tell you that now. He ain't in that cut. He ain't in that cut. Too valuable. Yeah, I don't know, Ronbo. I mean, I started the year off with McKinney, not starting though. We just got to see what he got to offer.
He's going to be a bit
we
player.
got to see what he got to offer. We done paid this man, so we got to see. You know, okay. So of course, last year's MVP of the team gonna be there. Okay, and then we got the top of our TC. So those three right there.
Okay, you got Mostert. You said Mostert, right?
Mostert was the MVP last year. He's the MVP.
So you got Mostert. You got TC in the mix. You added. Of course, Jeff McKinnon's going to be that third down guy, and maybe other times as well. And you're going to keep a fourth back. I think we're going to be a 3-back team with those 2 kids being on the practice squad. If we can afford to put 2.
I got to keep a 4th back, Ronbo.
Oh, well, I never count him. That's why I said three running backs, and of course, you're going to keep Juices. Of course, is going to have to be there. Juices has him and George Kittle. They're the ones who clean. They're the ones who move them bodies out the way, right?
Right. Yeah. So, but Ronbo, this George Kittle thing.
Yeah.
In the words of one Deion Sanders, pay the man. Pay the man. What are we sitting here talking about? What are we sitting here talking about, man? Pay the, everybody around here talking about, who is this? Jalen Hurd. What? What? Ronbo. George Kittle. Consistent. Has been consistent.
I'm not fully sold on Jalen yet. I need to see him healthy. That's true.
Look. 2018, 88 receptions for 1,377 yards, averaging 15.6. 2019, 85 receptions, 1,053, averaging 12.4, longest 61, longest 85, 5 TDs on both years. What? Pay the man. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? You show me where you gonna get that kind of production out of a tight end.
Give me the Parag Marathi Blue Book. Where are you gonna start this price?
That I don't know, because I mean, the man putting up number 1 wide receiver numbers. You know what I mean?
I know. So, see, that's the problem right there. You can't just say you got to give him tight end money. You got to come somewhere between, and that's why I think 14 is all right. How do you feel about 14?
Sweeten it, 15.
Oh, okay.
Sweeten it up.
And I have no problem with that. I said round it up, give him 15. And if the agent's still bucking, oh come on, man. You know what? That's when I start saying things like, I can save money by just franchise that. I'm doing both you guys a favor by going way above the standard. Now, don't sit there and tell me you need more than 15. I know I'd get pissed.
But listen, Ronbo, by any means necessary, we will franchise tag George Kittle if we have to.
That's a tacky way to go, but still.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a business. If people get mad, glad, sad, whatever, they want to, be done with the organization, get mad about a contract. Hey, man. Look here, we got to do what's best for the team when the overall picture is formed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We love to keep you, and we're going to keep you. But right now, since we can't agree on this number, we're going to go and slap it with the tag. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I doubt that Kittle do the want to hang out a season and all that. He's just not that type of a person, man. I don't see that energy. I don't see that energy in him. I
see, if this continues to deteriorate, I see him firing his agent. I can see George doing that, and saying, I got a guy in there now I think that knows what I want and what the team probably will accept. So let's do that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but pay the man. That's it. Pay the man. He's been the man.
I agree.
Look, when George went out, man, we were sitting there like, oh man, what? Oh man, is he seriously hurt or is he? Come on, man. Pay the man. Pay the man. You can't go on what you think potential coming up in the ranks gonna do.
Chaz, we talking
about statistics. Huh?
I'm looking at the argument. Some people are making. Cliff H says Kittle didn't even catch the ball in college, and y'all don't think Shanny had anything to do with that. Shanny will make another Kittle just like that. You know what? There is something to that argument, but at the same time, if he had the ability to make anybody into Kittle, then why didn't he do it with Dwelly? Why didn't he do it with others? You can't. If you got a ball of clay, you can only do so much with the quality of that clay, right? So that's what I'm saying. I think the argument about Shanahan being the biggest reason for George Kittle's success, it may be tilting a little too far. George had a lot to do with it, though. 80%, at least.
Most certainly, Ronbo. Look, it's always what they always say, Ronbo. You know what I'm saying? it's the heart of a champion. You know what I'm saying? George got the heart of a champion, man. Look what George was taking in the draft, and look what he's produced. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Nobody's seen that coming from this kid. So pay the man. Pay the man. Simple and plain. Simple and plain.
Because
what we sitting up here arguing over. You know what killed me, Ronbo? When it comes time for us to pay somebody, the fans go south of the border. You want to complain on one side about not having nobody, but then when you have somebody, you don't want to pay them.
But the thing is, it's fear, though, Tress. You don't want to handcuff the team because that Deforest Buckner, he's in Indianapolis now because he wanted every last dollar the 49ers had. So,
What the Forest ain't Kittle though.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That now. Come on.
We agree.
He wasn't Kittle. Yeah. So no. So we knew we had to bite the bullet and send him somewhere else, and we still came up on the up end of that deal. Cause look what we got.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't wait to see what he looks like.
We finessed the draft. So hey, Ronbo, pay the man. Oh, one other thing, Ronbo, real quick. Did you see the Raiders' #1 pick go out there and hurt himself?
Oh, yeah. The other day I read about that. I laughed. Anything?
Hey, what? Come on, man. You got to be smarter than that.
I know, So Raiders, that's what they do.
He punctured his leg. And I'm like, kid, your body is your job. You know what I'm saying? Right now. This is how you get paid by your body. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take care of that, man.
This is why when we say the kid is like, people don't understand. I wasn't that stupid when I was a kid, and I know you weren't. So when I pick on a kid for being stupid, he is stupid. So I don't have any sympathy for that. God, you don't have to be young. You can have a brain even you're 18. You're not. Come on,
Ronbo. It's what it's called, common sense.
Yes.
Common sense. Common sense. You wasn't given that? You didn't, some people just got, it's common sense. Hey, look, man, I'm worth right now $20-something million or whatever my signing bonus is going to be. I ain't going to be out here helping nobody move. Hey, man, I'll hire you a couple movers, man. I'll loan you the money, whatever. Do whatever. Give it to them. I don't care. But I'm not moving nothing. You know what I mean? Personally, I ain't touching nothing.
That's the way it's supposed to be. All right.
But all right, Ronbo.
Yes,
hey, look, it's always a pleasure.
Yes,
shout out to you. Shout out to the fans once again. Shout out to my TNT fam, man. Look at here. Crazy things going on in this world. Everybody keep a cool head, man. Learn to love, man. Love. That's the word for the day. Love.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. All right, Tress. Great to hear from you, fam. Can't wait to hear from you again, too. Be back tomorrow if you get time. Good night, Tress.
Okay.
Oh, God. Yeah. Hey, Ellis!
What's up, Ronbo?
Ellis, actually, we're coming across the same road. Every day they lay another scary report out for you. And now it's gone from just being highest tight end in the league to a George Kittle deal. Meaning George has distinguished himself, or his agent has distinguished him from the rest of the tight ends, and they should, because he is way above what's going on otherwise. And like Trez says, pay the man. Others are setting a limit, and I'm just saying, it has something to do with the guaranteed money. I'm almost sure of it. But where are you at on this?
Man, one thing I did not expect is for us to be having this conversation.
I know, man.
So at this point, not George Kittle, man. We could overcome just about anything at this point, but I wouldn't say George Kittle being traded is a thing that we could overcome without a scratch. So we don't want to talk that. I think he's worth whatever he's willing to take, and we just got to meet him at the middle. But don't get rid of George Kittle, man. I think that would be I would say. Maybe everybody doesn't agree, but I would let go of a running back and somebody else before to get some money together and at least get some upfront, something or or just franchise tag him and pay and do whatever's necessary once the season is over to make sure that there's plenty of money to keep him, excited. Once the tag, and the money and the amount comes, to fruition, you got either which way, pay the man now or franchise tag him and pay him some big later, or figure something out.
Well,
but you can't play,
But you know what you just mentioned, a franchise tag. That's why I don't think Kittle and his agent are going to run crazy with this, because they realize the 49ers should just play hardball and say, all right, listen, you know what? This deal's not going anywhere. You, sir, are tagged. And you get a lot less. You get a lot less than you would have gotten if you take the $14 million deal. This is why something doesn't sound right here. Drake says he had a Grant Cohn.
Do we have the 14?
Well, no, but the thing, Grant Cohn has been quoted saying that the 49ers offered George Kittle $14 million. And the agent said no way. And then you hear about the report about them being fired. Well, hell, if they franchise tag him, he gets a lot less than that. Why would he say absolutely no to that? So there's something strange that I don't get. And I figured it has something more to do with the guaranteed money or something else. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they should incentivize it and make it,
And it could go any number of distance in. You incentivize it, God, it could go 17, 18 million maybe. All he's got to do is meet all the requirements.
Based on performances and stuff. Yeah, like you were talking about earlier, based on his performances. I mean, it's only right, man. A lot of these guys, they got to understand, just like it's a business for them, it's for everybody else. So if you guys are getting hurt, like, we paid these, look at the Jared McKinnon. We didn't get 2 years out of him, and he got paid all that money.
16.
I mean, so he's like, shit, I guess I may as well take a hit because I really just won so crazy. I could have just retired from football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, I'm just saying, these guys get a lot of money, man. So it's, George is definitely owed some money, and I don't think it's the time to try to be getting rid of a George Kittle, though.
No, they're not.
You better make some moves to some other guys instead of that. I don't think it's going to come into play. I think something's going to happen, and we'll be able to, be okay and be like,
and be able to still afford to keep players on the team, Ellis. That's the thing, though. You can't overpay one player and then you can't pay nobody else. You're still going to lose because you got to have a rotation. Just like with Deforest Buckner. How many players did we sign with the money we saved, not giving him 20? What did he say? 22, 18. How much? Deforest got 22. How much money did we save not paying him 22?
I think he wanted 21. I think he wanted 21 from us, and he got 22. He got an extra meal, or maybe, I don't know.
How many players
he got a whole lot of money.
You can sign a half a roster of defenders with that much money, Good God,
Absolutely.
Defoe, you're good, but come on, man, what are we going to do? So you can't be selfish.
Yeah, and I think they should have figured out a way to structure that contract. I was just thinking about the Armstead and maybe something with Jimmy. Maybe if they could have maybe try to work something out and where they could have had a few extra meal, saved for George, and they could have worked theirs out to where it could still be beneficial for them as for the players. But we could have had some extra money to play with and be able to, put together to make this thing go a little bit smoother for for George. So
they may have to cut some more fat.
We got
there's some guys are leaving right now that probably haven't been told yet. But if it gets push comes to shove, they're going to get rid of some people. That's going to have to be done. And they're not going to be able to keep nearly as many people as they wanted to.
Yeah, we might have one more season, and then some of the stuff will have to spread out. Hopefully, we'll be able to fill in well, and we'll get some guys to come back and that want to stay and play with us. But that's the downside of not taking advantage when we had the opportunity. So I'm still pissed about that Super Bowl, but it is what it is. But that's what I'm saying. It's like now we got to get through the season now. I mean, it ain't gonna be no cakewalk. We're gonna have to play. We don't have to get down. So.
Hell yeah.
And with no fans or no nothing, it's gonna be an adjustment. It's gonna be an adjustment, depending on how they decide to structure the game indoors. The players are gonna be affected by it. They're probably not gonna be talking about it much, but it'll come out. You know what I mean? Because you don't get the same inspiration as a player. You know what I mean? If they're used to that, they're conditioned to hearing the crowd. So that'll be an adjustment, man.
It's something to get you fired up. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, man. Well,
yes, sir. We're gonna be all right though. I don't think there's nothing we got to worry about as long as we don't let go of George Kittle, man.
I'd bet money George Kittle is not leaving under any circumstances. They'll tag him. But Ellis, let me see tomorrow film. All right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, champ. Y'all make sure you download that Ronbo Sports app, man.
Right.
Hit the like, hit the subscribe, man. We're trying to we're still trying to get 25,000, man.
Yes.
Let's make it happen out there in the chat, man. Let's support this brother. Salute to everybody out there, man. Y'all stay safe and on the next one, Ronbo, as always, fam.
Hey, looking forward, Ellis. Have a good night, fam.
Right, peace. You too, champ.
Yes. Hey, Jay.
What's up, Ronbo?
Jay, man, we're sitting here contemplating what would life be without George Kittle. And a lot of people are writing it off like nobody's bigger than the team. I mean, in theory, that's true, but still.
Kittle's still young, and you know what I'm saying? Pay him. He's worth the money. I believe he is. He comes out, he plays. I really haven't really seen this man not have a bad game. And he comes out and perform, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's a business. And you can't pay everybody. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see Kittle retire as a Niner. You know what I mean? And, and all the great players, but you can't sign them all. I understand that. That's part of football. It's a tough decision. And, it is what it is. But I have faith that we're going to make choices where we can keep Kittle, get rid of some of the top heavy contracts, and keep George Kittle, you know what I'm saying? If, and I hate to say it about Deforest, if Deforest doesn't play a full season, they're going to get rid of him to sign George Kittle. That's just only logic on top of you getting Joey Bosa. You know what I'm saying? So,
Are you looking at Joey Bosa coming to San Francisco too?
Oh yeah, he wants to play with a contender. Plus, he want to play with his brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what? We're scraping up money now, trying to get getting certain people to play. Joey's got to have a renewed contract. Good Lord, what is that going to be?
That's going to be hella, but it probably be a friendly deal because a lot of times people want to win championships, and if they feel like this team can win championships, they're going to sign friendly deals just to win championships. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, John Lynch ain't throwing out money like that in free agency, getting these old head players and signing them in these massive deals. He's getting young players and doing that, like he did to D4, he did that to Quan Alexander. He's not getting people who's going to be hitting their 30s and signing them big pay contracts.
And what ends up happening is they end up losing draft picks. That's the only thing that concerns me. I always wonder, what did we lose in that draft pick? But then again, you have to compare it to what you got. And putting Nick and Joey on both edges, that would be ruthless. I'd love to see.
Yes, it was very ruthless. And, you know what I'm saying? Not counting on D4. I mean, D4, he plays his ass off. The issue is hopefully he could come up and is healthy, yes. Because, you know what I'm saying? It just, look at Patrick Willis. We thought Patrick Willis could play another 10 years, and that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying?
That toe just would not leave him alone. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't run with these professional athletes all day long, all year long, and year after year. And, sometimes it takes a toll on your body. Your body gives before you want it to give, you know what I'm saying? And
especially
I just feel like George, especially football. It's wear and tear your body real fast, and it's proven. Back to George Kittle, I think they're going to try to make it happen. I really do. You know what I'm saying? If they don't, they're looking at a bigger picture than we are. We are looking at what kind of player George Kittle is, and we want to keep him on his team. But they look at, okay, if we can get rid of these massive deals, because they trying to be a dynasty here, and in order to be a dynasty, you're gonna have to be Belichick. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have that in mind.
That's a good name. Belichick. That's it. That's even better because Belichick does not overpay. If you want to get paid, you got to go somewhere else. We're here to win championships with or without you. And
Correct.
I'll be damned if he doesn't do just that. Patriots are the role. They're the role model.
And that's what the Niners are. They taking the page out of that book. Like, look at what they did to, Deforest Buckner. And then it's going to go down the line. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Richard Sherman. I love Richard Sherman, but he's getting older. So they're looking at, we need to get younger. You know what I'm saying? We need to get younger and keeping some of these players. And players are not producing on the field. They're going to be seeing there. They're going to be weaving them out.
Yep.
And then once they bring in other players in, they're going to see what they're doing.
And Jay, have you noticed the 49ers had one of the best drafts they've had. I'm going all the way back to McLuhan's days. They had one of the best drafts they've ever had. They didn't have any picks, but each and every pick looks like an absolute winner. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how they turn out. So
that's the case, but that's not necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we got to see them play
on the field.
But
we got to see them play to order to say, okay, they have won it. Because you can sit here and say Ken Long going to be the next Eric Donald. You know what I'm saying?
But see,
what's the name going to be?
Jay, we got to go. My point was, if you bring in a new kid and you got him for 4 to 5 years without having to pay him big bucks, that's a huge window open for the Super Bowl. So that's the art of the Patriots. So that's if we can do that, we'll be okay. So
exactly, because look at Debo. They ain't paying him no big contract, and he's producing on the field.
So he ain't even started yet. We got to pull up.
George Kittle. He just now reaching to where he's about to get paid. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the right thing. That's why I said it's a bigger picture.
Jay, we got to go, though, because we started late. I'm going to see you tomorrow, though, fam. And this time, I ain't kidding. I'll be back tomorrow looking for you. All right?
All right, Ronbo. Thank you. Appreciate you. What you do, brother.
Thanks, Jay. I appreciate you, too. Have a good night.
All right, you too, brother.
Hey, there's Alex, who I just found out Alex. I checked out Alex on Twitter. Alex, is that you? Alex!
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Oh, Alex. We're sitting back here tripping on George like we've been doing now ever since we first heard his name. Because this guy, man, George Kittle is hugely popular, man. Because if Dante Pettis or Solomon Thomas were complaining about their money, we'd be booing them, right? But you got the people's champion out there, man. We can't boo George. Give him what he wants. But we can't give him what the agent wants. So, it's a dilemma. So here we are at 14.
You know what? I think we're good. I think this is a big year, in all honesty, because there's actually, we talked about this the other day, and we talked about one player not being bigger than the team. But there's like 10 factors that go into the George Kittle deal. Okay, is Emmanuel Mosley going to get a new contract after this year? Is he going to get his contract? Is Solomon Thomas going to fall off, or is he? Because if you really pay attention to the last few games of last year, including the playoffs, Solomon Thomas he showed flashes of what we wanted to get from him from the beginning. Flashes. Now, that means nothing next year. If next year he don't do anything, it means nothing. So that's a lot of money right there that we would have available for to make the George Kittle situation really just disappear.
Yep.
If Richard Sherman has a bad year this year, not a bad year. if Richard Sherman has a year, just an average year, and we can say, well, we can, and maybe Akello looks like Akello of the first 4 games last year.
I know, would that be special? Woo!
It would. You think about this: if Solomon Thomas comes off the salary cap, and so does Richard Sherman, you're talking $24 million. That's a lot of money.
No, I know.
Now you're talking about a team, a contending team with cap money, lots of cap money. And there's different things in this. Trent Williams is only here for 1 year. You know what I mean? There's $10 million right there. The Niners, I think, are going to franchise tag him because you said something earlier. If they take the franchise tag route and just and don't take this $14 million, he's going to make less money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a very appealing route for the Niners to keep contending and to get bargains on superstars because Javon Kinlaw, is he DeForest Buckner today? No, you can't just be DeForest Buckner right from the rip necessarily.
And no training camp or anything else. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it takes some sculpting. We got to sculpt these young fellas. That's what we've been doing for the last few years. And we've had misses. We've had misses, and look how far we've come.
That's true.
I think the Niners are really just trying to just pace. They don't want to sprint. They don't want to walk. They just want to pace because we got a young GM. We got a young coach, a younger coach.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's just in the very beginning of his career. And I see nothing but balance in this relationship to create a consistent winner, this leadership we got with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, it feels safe. And I think that the future of the Niners is safe. I don't think George Kittle's situation. I think we're almost a little too scared to lose George. We're not going to lose George. Kyle Shanahan's offense. If he had one superstar on offense, he can get by. So I think George is going to be here. We're going to continuously keep grooming these young wide receivers because we might walk in with 8 receivers this year on the depth chart in week 1. In all honesty.
Alex,
we got a lot of.
If you're trying to save money, you overload one room, you're going to put yourself into trouble, aren't you?
Hey, but let's remember this though: Jalen Hurd and Jawan Jennings could essentially play the tight end role. We have very versatile players. I mean, I think next year's offense is going to be fun to watch because you're going to see what you think is 4 or 5 receivers on the field. And it's really going to be a 3 tight end set for a power set.
I remember Shanahan doing that. He would flood the team with wide receivers when he was in Atlanta. And, with the caliber of wide receivers this team's got, that could be so interesting. And then you put McKinnon in the backfield. Oh, my God, it just gets brutal.
I think next year, Bo, we're going to see some formations, and we're going to think like, is he throwing out the bag? But I think he's just saying, hey,
I think
I got 100 formations.
Yeah, Alex, he's got all the bullets now. Last year he didn't have all the talent he needed to do some of the things he probably wanted to do. If these guys pan out, now he's got all the talent in the world. So we're going to see. You lose, Alex?
Yes, sir. So, hey, Bo. Hey, man, I got to hop out the phone, man. It was good talking to you.
Same here, fam. I'll see you online in between now and tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. We'll be staying in contact, bro. I'll talk to you, man.
All right, bro. Have a good night. And Mel is back. Mel? Go ahead, hey, Mel.
Bang, bang. Yeah, Ronbo.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm working doubles tonight, so I figured I might as well pull double duty, and, I won't be long this time. I just wanted to say, with this George Kittle situation, if his agent was smart, instead of possibly, tainting George's reputation as the people's champion, as the team guy, because of his own pride and selfishness and greed, he should be focusing more on getting George a whole bunch of endorsements. George has the personality, and George has the integrity. He has everything that you look for, the character, huge endorsement. So his agent should definitely focus a lot on that, man. And he can make George a lot more money than this football contract that he's vying for.
Oh, agreed.
So,
because that's what Tom Brady did.
You know?
Tom Brady, his salary was his pocket money with the Patriots.
Right.
Tom was making hand over fist money. I mean,
exactly.
Doing everything else.
That doesn't even touch football money and setting yourself up for after football as well. So if his agent was smart, that's how he would be playing it. And he'd be actually helping George build his image as the team guy instead of trying to destroy it, talking holdouts and all of this garbage.
It's like I said, the bottom line is, Mel, I'm got the leverage here. Talking to his agent, I can franchise tag George and save money.
Right.
If I offer you 14, you should shut up, tell me what the guaranteed money is, and take it home. Why are we arguing? I'd be so mad. I couldn't be. If I'm Prague, oh man, they'd be dudes coming in holding me because I'm getting mad. Ronbo,
right?
No, dude. You're supposed to just negotiate, not beat him up. This ain't no cage match. Ah, God.
Right.
Because I can't.
Speaking of, George has relationships with The Rock, Stone Cold. You see what Gronk did. George could easily market himself in the WWE market as well.
He'd be there too.
And that's literally the tip of the iceberg.
I think they told George, we know how much you love the WWE, but we can't have you doing matches. And we've already told Vince, if he calls again, we're going to file charges against him for, we'll find a way to sue. You're not going to be doing any matches. You're not going to be showing up. Because, guys in WWE do get hurt, contrary to what people believe. Some guys have gotten really seriously hurt. So George can only make them comedy cameos where he's not going to get hurt. But, right. He'd be doing a lot more.
Just so many crest, white strips, man, whatever. George should be a household name, and he really could be. That's what his agent should really start focusing on. Get this contract, man. Take that $14 million. Be happy with it. $14 million is a lot of money, bro.
For a tight end?
And
he's breaking the bank for a tight end. So I can't believe he's not accepting that. And as I said, unless there's something in the contract that doesn't read right. Otherwise, come on, man. 14?
Right. And I have to say I disagree with the callers who keep saying he's more than a tight end. No, he's not. He's not more than a tight end. He's just
very good at what he does. But he's still
right.
Yeah.
He's perfect because he's the best blocker and he's the best running after the catch. He's at the apex of the position. He's the prototype for what a tight end is supposed to be.
Yep.
To block as well as a lineman and catch as well as a receiver. That's what a tight end is.
State of the art.
He's not going to get extra. But, I think $14 million is more than fair. Where you have the highest paid at $10 million.
10-6.
40% markup.
Yep.
40% markup.
There's nothing wrong with that,
At all.
I agree.
So, I'm going to do a blog about it later. Come check out the Jersey Niner channel, man. Everybody check out Jersey Niner later. I'm killing this Betcha cat. I'm killing his agent. His agent is about to feel the wrath.
You faded out, Mel. You faded out a little bit. You're Jersey Niner.
Jersey Niner. Yep.
That's right. All right, get that
yes,
right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
No doubt. Yeah, Ronbo, man. Thanks for having me. Like I said, I'm doing double shift
Mel made a double
over here at UPS. So why not do a double shift on Ronbo? I truly love and appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Seriously, Ronbo. Thank you, man. I love you, bro.
Hey,
everybody stay up. Shout out to James. Dion. Oh, yeah. I got a bomb on you, Dion. I love you. So this is out of love. This is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you with this McKinnon madness. But I got to kill you for that, Dion. Yeah. Shout out to Paulie from Jersey, too, man.
Yes, indeed.
Bro.
Hey, if we talk to Paulie, I'll contact him. I forgot about Paulie. He should be okay by now, though. All right, Mel. See you tomorrow if you get a chance. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if anything we've learned after we went through the Buckner situation, it started with Robbie last year. And it goes into Buckner this year to start the season off. And I guess we should get used to this each and every year. Because I guess once you start winning, there's no money, and you can't stand partying with another team. But it's really going to be interesting to see how the 49ers handle this going forward as to who's going to be expendable. Now the drafting has to be done absolutely precisely, because talk is already going around that Ayuk will probably fill that void in left by Emmanuel Sanders very well. But the thing they forget about is you're not going to replace experience and having been there, done that, as much as Emmanuel Sanders and been through all the things he has to and still be anywhere equal to Emmanuel Sanders. So you have to, what you read and write, what you write or what you read and hear, you have to temper what you're hearing. Even with Kinlaw, man, some of the heavyweights of the industry, Gil Brandt, Brian Baldinger. These guys are saying huge things about Kinlaw. So you don't want to get too crazy excited till you see it on the field because your feelings hurt, right? And wouldn't it be funny if the kid they picked up, the tight end they picked up, that has actually got wide experience, wide receiver experience, and a lot of it, he converted. The 49ers know where they're going with everything they do. What if that kid pans out, see? Because they wanted to wait till next year to finish up George Kittle's contract anyway. And then they bring this kid. You know, what is his name? McKivitz is the tackle, right? But I look at that kid's film, and the thing is, he's no George Kittle, it looks like right now. But like somebody says, the only reason George Kittle is as good as he is, and I don't buy that fully. George Kittle, there's a lot of talent in George Kittle. Shanahan provides the things he needs, but I don't know that George would not be good on another team. He might not be as good as he is with the 49ers because of Shanahan, but he'd still be a good football player. So I want to keep him on this team. I do not want to see him. Can you imagine playing against George Kittle? You know what else worries me, fam? I got to tell you this before I go. The intel that a lot of these players have that would escape through people like George Kittle, who were first string and knew everything about Ken Shanahan, they can actually be dangerous to other teams. I even worry about Deforest Buckner and his knowledge of the 49ers defense. What if we saw Indy in the Super Bowl? You know what I mean? But anyway, Brandon Ayuk, Colton McKivitz, that's a tackle. Charlie Warner. What if Charlie, 6'5", 244, he's slower than George, but you notice how tough it is to bring him down? He's got that ability. So we're going to see what happens going forward with the 49ers. The adventures of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch is going to be interesting going down through the years. I just hope they stay with us for a decade, and then we can have a lot of fun with those guys, because these guys are shrewd. They're not going to be outworked by the next team. Did you notice that? This year, I think the year that really stands out is just how good they are at running an organization. They're only going to get better because this is their third year. Woo-hoo. Fam, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you. Hey, if you hit that like, I'm gone. See you tomorrow. Niners!